In the town of Cheesebridge, when all good citizens are safe inside, beastly creatures roam the night.
Boxtrolls! Boxtrolls are monsters!
At least, that's what everyone's been told.
Hello, welcome to What the Flit. Christy Alonso, the lovely and talented William Bibiani is here to talk about box trolls. They're trolls in boxes.
I like it.
Sure. Okay, yeah. So there they are, trolls in boxes. It's a small mythical town on a top of a hill, and everyone's obsessed with cheese, and there are box trolls, and they are accused of stealing away the human babies. So the local exterminator, voiced by Ben Kingsley, sets out to capture all of them so that he can join the town's very elite white hat society. Things don't quite go as planned. Take a look.
Welcome to the magical world of the Boxtrolls, where one lucky boy lives happily with his unusual family. They transform treasures into incredible inventions, careful never to be seen
Who's there?
by human eyes.
I want every box troll gone.
Let's go! Who are you, boy?
I'm a box troll.
Then let's see you fit in your box.
Please help us.
You need to look like a proper boy. Yes. Yes. No.
Pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Never seen one do that before.
The Boxtrolls.
Offered box.
This should have been more fun.
I had fun. I don't know.
Did you?
I really didn't like this, and I loved the Coraline and ParaNorman, which were the first two films from Laika Studios, which made this one. I found this ugly and charmless, and it didn't do a thing for me, and I would love to know why you liked it.
I
really
actually liked its mean spirit. There is.
We like meat around here.
Good.
Have you
Okay.
met us? We like meat.
I want to clarify. I consider Coraline and ParaNorman to be modern classics. I think they're fantastic movies, top down. And this is not as good as those. Like, absolutely not. Like, but it does have a fun imagination to it. I like the sort of childhood trauma it's trying to inflict on us with like a very disturbing villain who eats cheese and then gets covered in huge pustules. And there's a little boy in me. It's just like, it's like the dinner scene in Temple of Doom. Like, this is gross for the sake of being gross. I enjoyed it. But no, I actually thought it looked very, very interesting. I liked the way it looked. More to the point, I really, really love the character of Winnifred, played by Elle Fanning. I thought she was a very fun character. She was people I knew and never got to see on camera, which is young girls who are they're not princesses, they're not tougher than their years, they're just obsessed with weirdness and skulls and that's a character we don't get of. It's sort of like a modern Lydia Dietz.
I mean, admittedly, I'm all for richer and more interesting female characters, especially in films aimed at kids.
Sure.
But like you said about Melissa Leo in The Equalizer, where it seemed like there was kind of a token they stuck in, I never bought her as a character. I bought her as, we need a sharp girl here. Let's make her spunky. And I never really felt like there was a character there beyond spunky, and that wore thin with me really quickly.
You needed a character, because this town is torn between people who are absolutely like horrifically genocidally racist towards the Boxtrolls, and then you have the main character who grew up with the Boxtrolls and he loves them, and then you needed a character who is in both worlds. And she's sort of fascinated by the ugliness of the Boxtrolls and the idea that they are horrific creatures, but not in a way that makes her scared, but in a way that makes her excited. And so she's able to open her eyes and see them. I thought you needed that character, and I thought she did a good job.
I liked her too. She kept surprising me, because you do think she's going to be just perky, but then she has this like wonderful taste for the macabre, and she just was weird and funny and strange, and she makes him better, right? Like, he's afraid to be who he's meant to be. She helps make him better. I like that about her.
Big problem that I have with this film is the Boxtrolls themselves, apart from two of them, Fish and Shoe, who do the most in raising our human hero. The rest of them are all I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them. They don't get individual personalities. And
Unlike the Minions, for example.
Sure.
Minions are discernible creatures from each other.
yeah, and in a movie called The Boxtrolls, you might imagine that the Boxtrolls would be more interesting and more, have more to do with it. And then on top of it, the villain's big plot makes no sense.
I'll give you that. Well, he's not a smart villain in all fairness.
True, but still.
He is played very ably by Ben Kingsley, doing a bang-on Michael Gambon impression. My
I thought it was Michael Gambon the whole time.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
But
great.
he looks like Timothy Spall.
Yeah,
The animated character.
it's an interesting combination there. But no, like his plan is to. The Boxtrolls are accused of kidnapping the young human child. He uses that as like a scapegoat. I will kill all the Boxtrolls, and when I do, you will let me have the cheese and a white hat. And it takes like 15 years, apparently. Like, it's a long time.
It's a lot of Boxtrolls.
It's a lot of Boxtrolls and a really, really patient villain, which I sort of admire. It's a very strange plan, but it's also a very strange world with very strange rules. Like the way that everything operates in the Boxtrolls, and that's one of the things that keeps it from being great, is that it seems strange for the sake of being strange a lot of the time.
But something strange is kind of great. Like the Boxtrolls' underground lair is really cool and detailed in a way that reminds me of Aardman. If we're talking about stop motion animation, like they are the gold standard, of course. But there's some neat intricacy that reminds me of like the best kind of cool ideas and gadgetry in the Aardman movies.
Well, this movie ends in the way that ParaNorman did, and I think did they do it in Coraline too, where you get to see all the stuff they've been hiding from you the whole time, all of the work that goes into making these characters move around, and that moment is sort of like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like it's so invisible because you guys do this so flawlessly that there is a tremendous amount of work going on. So I mean, I don't fault the animation itself is great, but the character design is so ugly. Most of the characters are so uninteresting. I did kind of like the two sort of philosophical sidekicks of the main
Richard
villain.
Iowade and I think Nick Frost.
Yes, Nick Frost is the best part. Simon Pegg is also in it, but they're not together.
Right.
Yeah, but they have these great discussions about existentialism and the duality of good
Are
and
we
evil.
a villain, or is it just how we're perceived?
Yeah, exactly. But I was so disappointed with this. I really went in with higher hopes based on this studio's previous stuff, and I just found it. It just didn't engage me, and I didn't like looking at it, and I didn't care about anybody.
It's grim. There's like a grim kind of sameness, both in tone and in color, that's sort of smothering and dulls everything. So I didn't love it either.
I liked it.
Well, what's your number then, Bibbs?
I don't even remember what I gave you my
gave it
number.
7.2.
I gave it a
You're really
7.2.
high on
It's a recommendation. I think it is the least of Laika's work. It's the Bug's Life of their films. But Bug's Life is a good movie. I think this is a good movie. It's got problems, but I was entertained, and it had the best pun of the year.
Yes, well, that was a
That was
highlight,
cute.
definitely.
I tried to start a slow clap in my theater.
I gave it a 3.2. I think this was a real letdown. I hope for better from them next time.
I gave it a 5. My kid did not even want to see this. My kid who sees every billboard around town and goes, Mommy, let's go see that. Did not want to see the Boxtrolls. I think, Nick, you made the right call on this. Okay, so I give it a 5. Our average is a 5.1. It's a 71% on the tomato meter.